Good day, folks. Granpoof here, a jolly old English lad, stepping in for your usual narrator. Now, I've got something to share that might tickle your funny bone. There's something up your bum. Yes, don't be shocked, it's just a wee joke. Now, don't let my age or humour scare you off. I've got quite a few tales to spin and some wisdom to impart. In fact, I've heard that in 2 Sundays' time you'll be listening to the soothing voice of the illustrious David Attenborough. But until then, you're stuck with this charming old duffer. And now for a bit of advice that might come in handy. Every 30 seconds, be on guard. You see, deers with a gassy disposition often forget their manners and poo without a hint of decorum. So, keep your eyes peeled and your senses alert. Until our next chat, stay careful and always watch out for those ill-mannered, flatulent deers. Now, onto a recipe as delightful as a summer's day in the English countryside. Eggplant rollatini with ricotta and spinach. This dish is a classic, and I'm going to share some profound insights into it. First, let's get the ingredients ready. We start with the eggplant, or aubergine if you're feeling particularly fancy today. Slice them lengthwise into 1/4-inch strips, brush with olive oil, sprinkle on some salt and pepper, and roast in the oven. While our eggplants are getting toasty, let's prepare the filling. In a bowl, mix together ricotta cheese, fresh spinach, Parmesan cheese, minced garlic and dried oregano. Season with a dash of salt and pepper. Now onto the sauce. Sauté finely chopped onions and minced garlic in olive oil. Then add canned crushed tomatoes, dried basil, dried oregano and season with salt and pepper. Let this simmer 10 minutes or so. All the ingredients coming together is a beautiful process, quite like life. It's assembly time. Spread a thin layer of the tomato sauce in a baking dish. Place a spoonful of the ricotta mixture on one end of each eggplant slice and roll it up. Arrange the rolls down in the baking dish. Spoon remaining tomato sauce over the eggplant rolls. Sprinkle with extra Parmesan if you're feeling indulgent. Then bake until it's bubbly and heated through. Serve this culinary masterpiece garnished with fresh basil leaves. It pairs well with crusty bread or a side of green salad. This dish is going to disappear fast. Here's a tip from the chef's hat. For added texture, sprinkle toasted breadcrumbs over the top before baking. This dish can also be made ahead and reheated before serving. How convenient is that? And there we have it. A dish so delicious it could make a grown man cry. Now let's navigate this narrative to a slightly alternate route and acquaint you with the thrilling chronicle of Miss Belle Pum and her jolly crew who are aboard their vessel singing in true pirate spirit. Ah, Miss Belle Pum, our very own Madame Butterfly demands to be called by her complete name, always. Her crew is an eccentric mix, her sister Halvey and her children Pole, Nuddles and Zoe. They're embarked on a journey to the legendary Farting Deer. The ensuing escapade filled with laughter is an experience you certainly won't want to skip. Well, we've certainly had a fantastic escapade today, haven't we? Not only did we learn the delicate art of crafting a scrumptious eggplant rollatini with ricotta and spinach, but we also spent some quality time getting to know the colourful cast of our fantastical tale. It's been an eventful day filled with laughter, learning and a fair bit of chaos. We dove into the enticing world of our protagonist, Madame Butterfly, the ever-charming Miss Belle Pum, and her eccentric family of candy floss relatives. It was quite the experience to see the inner workings of their quirky world. From Pole, the lovable polar bear with an insatiable appetite, to Nuddles, the youngest endearing of the lot, to Zoe, the cheerful middle child whose pigtails outshine the brightest summer sun. And who can forget our chaotic anti-hero, Horse McGorse, always up to his usual mischief. But that's not all. There were twists and turns at every corner, from a memorable trip to the aquarium to an unforgettable cafe episode. It was quite the sight, seeing our brave patrons gearing up to swim with the fishes, an experience cut short, unfortunately, due to some mischievous witches messing with the water supplies. They caused quite the havoc, leading to a cascade of vomiting that resulted in some rather unsavory consequences. This roller coaster of a day took us on quite the ride, from the unexpected painting endeavours at the cafe to the unforgettable swim session at the aquarium. Not to mention an unforgettable episode with Miss Belle Pum, Horse McGorse and a stone that left everyone in a fit of tears and laughter. The colourful characters, the endless chaos and the laughter that ensued were enough to keep us captivated and wanting more. And believe it or not, that was just the beginning. there was a special Friday gathering, orchestrated by none other than our very own Miss Belle Pum. It was a night filled with paper cups, strange concoctions, and an assortment of whimsical gifts, each one stranger than the last. The rest, as they say, is better left for another time. So, until we meet again, keep an eye out for those flatulent deer, and always remember the mouth-watering taste of eggplant rollatini with ricotta and spinach. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we delve deeper into the world of Miss Belle Pum, Horse Magorse, and their vibrant family. Until then, the sweet scent of nostalgia. Do you remember the aquarium, dear viewer? The vibrant colours of the marine life, the glistening water, and the unforgettable chaos that ensued. Let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? As we step into the aquarium, we find ourselves amidst a group of eager patrons, their eyes sparkling with excitement as they prepare to swim with the fishes. The anticipation is palpable, but little do they know, a group of mischievous witches have other plans. Suddenly the water supply is disrupted, and the aquarium transforms into a scene of hilarity and disgust. The witches' potions have a peculiar side effect. They induce vomiting. The patrons, now turned involuntary comedians, are throwing up left and right. The sight is both repulsive and oddly entertaining. But wait, what's this? The vomit isn't going to waste. Oh no! It's filling up the tank, causing some of the fish to go belly up, while others seem to be enjoying a rather unique swimming experience. The patrons, despite the initial shock, join in the fun, diving into the vomit-filled tank with a mixture of disgust and excitement. The chaos doesn't end there. From the corner, we see our beloved characters, Miss Belle Pum and Horse Magorse, trying to control their laughter while dodging projectile vomit. Their attempts are futile, and they too end up contributing to the vomit pool. Just when we think the chaos has reached its peak, the door slams open and in stomps Horse Magorse, her face a storm of anger. She sees the vomit, the laughter, the upside-down fish, and can't help but stamp her feet in frustration. This, dear viewer, is where we leave you, in a world filled with chaos, laughter, and a whole lot of vomit. Stay tuned for the next episode. Until then, keep those laughter muscles flexed. And remember, there's never a dull moment in the world of Miss Belle Pum and Horse Magorse. As we bid farewell to the Aquarium Cafe, we find ourselves in the heart of a Friday night dinner party, orchestrated by none other than our beloved Miss Belle Pum. The room is dimly lit, adding an aura of mystery to the evening. The only source of light comes from a flickering candle placed in the middle of a worn-out wooden table. Miss Belle Pum, in her eccentric style, has decided to host this dinner in the dark. Our attention is drawn to a simple paper cup sitting in the center of the table. A seemingly insignificant object, but not for Miss Belle Pum. You see, dear viewer, this cup holds a special place in her heart. It's not just a vessel for beverages, but a container of memories, laughter, and a few too many disgusting incidents, as we're about to find out. The theme of the night is paper cups, and the gifts you can give in them. A brown one in particular is the star of the evening. But the party takes a humorous and disgusting turn when Miss Belle Pum, in her cheerful spirit, decides to serve stew from her special cup. As the guests take turns sharing their gifts, the laughter grows louder, the stories wilder, and the gifts, well, let's just say they're not your typical dinner party presents. From a slimy, squirming worm to a mouldy piece of cheese, each gift brings about a chorus of laughter and a few cringes. Just when we think the night couldn't get any more chaotic, Miss Belle Pum lifts her special cup, revealing its contents. A thick, chunky stew, or so it appears. As she serves two unsuspecting men, their faces turn from joy to disgust. Yes, dear viewer, you guessed it. The stew isn't stew at all, but the remnants of the vomit pool from the aquarium. As the two men gag and the room erupts in laughter, we leave you to contemplate the absurdity of the evening. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll explore more of Miss Belle Pum's eccentric world. Until then, remember, there's always room for laughter, even in the most disgusting of situations. As we wave goodbye to the Vomitous dinner party, we are swept into a new scene of chaos and hilarity. Welcome, dear viewers, to the Canapé concert, a spectacle of musical farts hosted by none other than the flamboyant Fitzcostellia. A gigantic canapé hovers above the audience, a symbolic shield from the impending storm of humorous and disgusting incidents that are about to unfold. The concert kicks off with Jane Fitzcostellia stealing the spotlight, her confidence unwavering despite the unusual nature of her performance. The audience watches with a mix of amusement and disbelief as she begins her concert, a symphony of farts that are surprisingly melodious. The laughter grows louder as the concert progresses, each musical fart bringing more joy than the last. But wait, there's more. Our beloved characters from the previous scenes make their appearances, each contributing to the chaos in their unique ways. The laughter reaches a crescendo when Miss Belle Pum, in her typical style, decides to add her own touch to the concert. She pulls out her infamous paper cup, causing the audience to recoil in anticipation. However, the unexpected happens. A sudden tear in the canapé above sends a flood of vomit and diarrhea raining down on the unsuspecting audience below. The scene ends in a burst of laughter and disgust, leaving the viewers in stitches. As we pull away from the concert, we leave you with a sense of anticipation for the next episode. Remember, dear viewers, humor can be found in the most absurd situations. Stay tuned for more adventures in our eccentric world. From the aftermath of the musical fart showdown, we're whisked away to a much quieter but no less chaotic setting. Welcome, dear viewers, to Miss Belle Pum's library. The hush of the library is broken by the arrival of our protagonist, Miss Belle Pum, her eccentric crew in tow. The stacks of books tower high, a stark contrast to the impending storm of hilarity and disgust. As Miss Belle Pum begins to navigate through the labyrinthine library, her crew members follow suit, each causing a ruckus in their own unique ways. A misplaced step here, an accidental shove there, and soon books are flying, causing an uproar of laughter. But the climax is yet to come. The infamous paper cup makes an appearance once again, causing the audience to lean in with anticipation. However, instead of the expected musical fart, a flood of pee and vomit cascades down the library stairs, causing chaos and uncontrollable laughter. The scene ends with the library in disarray and the viewers in stitches, eagerly awaiting the next episode of this absurdly hilarious journey. As we bid you goodbye, remember, dear viewers, even in the most unlikely of places, hilarity can ensue. Stay tuned for more adventures with Miss Belle Pum and her crew.